An unprecedented number of young male white voters are going to Trump, leaving the Democrat Party. This is significant, and it's part of being anti-woke. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. Watch this.
In 2008, 58% of young people leaned Democratic. 2012, 53%. And in the last two major election years, that percentage held steady at 55%. But in 2023, that number dipped below 50% for the first time since 2005. And you'll notice right here, they've started to lean more Republican. And that's partly because of one specific group: young men.
I believe this goes into the difference between male and female natures. This is not a blanket statement insulting women in any ways. It is insulting woke women, nor does this compliment men, because this still insults woke men. There should be far more of them going to the Republican Party.
Young men have increased their support of the Republican Party from 35% to 48%, a 13 percentage point increase in just 7 years. And this is a new trend.
But what caused this move? I believe it's feminism and wokeness taking over the Democrat Party is causing this natural response in men and women, woke women going toward the Democrat Party.
While 2020 exit polls show that young men backed Biden by 15 percentage points, a February 2024 Wall Street Journal poll found they favored Trump by 14 percentage points. And this loss of young male voters is a major issue for the Democratic Party going into November.
But is Kamala Harris nice? Here's the Colin Rugg tweet report. Kamala Harris's staff turnover rate is 92% since she took office in January of 2021, making many people question if her joy campaign is completely fake, and it is. Everything about Kamala Harris is completely fake. Out of Harris's 47 hires from her first year as VP, only 4 remain. She's difficult to work with. She's like every time that you've ever had to go to human resources, she is the kind of person that you meet.
The question now, can Kamala Harris bring some back?
They have a problem with Kamala Harris, and it's not going to get better because she's not going to suddenly turn into the manly candidate. They are known as betas, low testosterone. Look at Tim Walz, this kind of schlubby, white, oafish guy. He's not a hero. He's not someone people look up to. JD Vance is.
Never let anyone take your joy from you. I call myself a joyful warrior. Right? Never let anyone take your joy from you.
She's a scary, condescending, duplicitous hag.
Among young men, it's the economy. Among young women, it's abortion.
When I am President of the United States, I will sign into law the protections for reproductive freedom.
We trust women to make decisions about their own body.
Only 3% of young male voters said the same.
Men don't fall for this stuff, even though it's our unborn that also get exterminated. But it really is like the Democrats are making a play for women hard with the abortion issue. Here's a quote from Vladimir Lenin, King Communist. When one makes a revolution, one cannot mark time. One must always go forward. Forward is the key here. Or go back. He who now talks about the freedom of the press goes backwards. He halts our headlong course toward socialism. Forward. They need the press to pull this off, and the press has become a propaganda wing of the Democrat Party. You'll remember forward is Kamala Harris's entire campaign slogan, and that came from the communists. They were always talking about forward, onward, forward.
Life experiences that young men and young women are having, those life experiences are diverging.
Young men without a college degree have seen the greatest decline in labor force participation. Meanwhile, a record 87% of college-educated women are in the workforce. And today, women make up 60% of college graduates.
Men are out doing work, our young men are, and they're watching their jobs being replaced by DEI hires. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. A woman with lower qualifications will get a job over a man or a university position or a writing gig in Hollywood. Here's another Vladimir Lenin communist quote. The press should not only be a collective propagandist and a collective agitator, but also a collective organizer of the masses. That's what we're seeing with feminism being unrolled through media. It's even affecting some of our churches with women leaders and things like that. So men are just having a natural backlash against going, what can we do? Well, we can vote.
The Biden administration has moved to forgive federally funded student loans. That affects young women more than young men.
Women have always, feminist women anyways, have always seen the state as a placebo father figure to the family. This is what broke up the Black family in America, is they're reliant on the government to forgive your loans. That is, oops, you're too dumb to know that when you borrow money, you can't pay it back. That's the woke, male and females, but it's probably 60-40 females to men, just because they're 60-40 getting their degrees.
The young women favored forgiving student loans by 45 percentage points. The young men were about equally divided. I mean, that's a big difference.
Meanwhile, young men support extending Trump's tax cuts by 23 percentage points.
And now, because of our tax cuts, you can keep more of your hard-earned money.
It's an anti-victimhood stance to say, I took out that loan and I will pay it off. That's more of a masculine trait or an anti-feminist trait that celebrates victimhood. And then also the lower tax rates, where men just say, look, government, get out of my way, let me work, and I'll pay my own bills. Whereas feminist women say, lower my taxes, go punish some other hardworking executive who are overwhelmingly white males. I'm Doug. In Exile. Subscribe.